So today on Transformer Tuesday, we got a first look of some brand new Transformer product coming out of the Transformer Reissue line. These come courtesy of the Australian website of JB Hi-Fi that seemed to have put out early a listing along with a bunch of images for an upcoming 40th anniversary retro reissue of Generation 1 Insecticon Bombshell that comes with an Autobot cassette bot of Ramhorn. These are the reissues that take the original G1 toys and give them super screen accurate paint decos and everything like that. And now we also get our final Insecticon to go with the rest of the crew. We knew that this was going to be coming sooner or later due to that retro reissue Transformers the Movie line of releases, where we got the Shrapnel, we got the Kickback, and now we got Bombshell here, and he's paired off with Ramhorn just to fill out that box, I guess. So let's break it down like we always do here on the Transformers Slag podcast and keep you educated, entertained, and informed on our hobby. And the first thing we're going to be covering is that Ramhorn. So he's rocking the colors that are more in tune with his animation model, which oddly enough, different paint hue, a lot less deco, which actually makes him more screen accurate compared to his original deco of that mold back in 1986, which had way more deco on it. It's kind of ironic how that works. Less is more in this case for accuracy. Also, that original Ramhorn toy back in the day had a variant. It had both silver weapons and gold weapons. And this one, of course, is going to go with gold weapons because it matches more with what the animation model did. There's not really too much going on here. It's just, again, it might look plain, but it sticks the landing with what they intend to do with this line, and that is to give this slavishly loyal G1 animation colors. And that's what you saw on TV, and that's what you're going to get here. It still looks good, though. And at the end of the day, it adds one more cassette to your reissue blaster lineup. You know, we got the steel jaw that came with that 40th retro reissue blaster. I mean, we had the blaster reissue that we got just a couple of years before that, too. So it adds one more to your collection if you don't want to have to dive in buying the vintage. You got it right here. Now the question is how are they going to distribute Eject and Rewind? And what will they do and pull from the animation models to really change it up? Because those original toys were pretty close. The journey of coloration. It's crazy. And speaking of colors and a hot mess, let's talk about the craziness that's Insecticon Bombshell. So last year, Evan of the Hasbro Transformer design team talked about how when they were working on that Legacy Deluxe Class Bombshell and how they had this confliction of they were not able to match the animation model of the robot mode because he's purple in bug mode. When he goes in the robot mode, his robot mode now turns gray magically. And they decided to go with the purple to make it more uniform with his other Insecticon members in the Legacy line. So this one decides to go the other way, favoring a super accurate robot mode on the show and letting that bug mode just deal with the colors that are given to it. Like past retro reissues, it has that clear yellow plastic that was on its chest, now made into a molded solid color yellow. We get a very, very gray Bombshell looking robot mode as a result of it. All the chrome parts, like the others, have been now turned into a painted silver that's kind of matte. Same thing, the gun was originally chrome, so it's also going to have that painted silver matte look to it. When you look at the bug mode, you could clearly very see why this has always been a problem since day one with this character, because now we end up with a very gray body with the blacks on it for that bug mode. And it's not very uniform with the other purple Insecticons, so it is what it is. And I mean, you're going to have to deal with what you have to deal with because, once again, that animation model was a mistake where robot mode was gray, bug mode was purple. I do have one solution. If it truly bothers you, you could probably track down a spare cheap G1 Bombshell, because that original toy, like that original 1985 Bombshell in purple, has like 3 different reissues in the past 40 years. And those 3 different reissues created a huge population of them out there as a result. Heck, even the original 1985 Bombshell has plentiful population, in my personal opinion. He came out in peak G1 1985 when everyone was buying Transformer toys by the handful, and G1 Insecticons were small, cheap, and easy birthday Xmas gifts. So I feel that, there's tons of those out there, even like loose, incomplete. So you could probably track one down really cheap. I know from personal experience, I've bought and sold Insecticons easily over a dozen at this point. So you could probably track one down. Then you could get a bug mode, gray, purple Bombshell. And then you could use this one here for your robot mode, and you could have that and not have to worry about being accurate in one or the other. Like the past Insecticons we've had before through reissues, they do come with Energon cubes, and they show here that you could store the Energon cubes inside his chest. Of course, that chest was originally for the Diaclone Wodoros, and having the Diaclone pilots put in there, so as it was originally intended. But here they go, hey, put the Energon cubes in the chest. So pretty cool stuff, and now the team is complete. Sadly, while it's not color uniform wise, another issue also kind of comes up. Not a big one, but also box uniform wise is kind of also hurt here, because we kind of leave that Transformers the movie retro reissue box style into this 40th anniversary type. And so even those kind of don't match anymore. But it is what it is, like I always say. So how could you get this? Well, looks like it's an early listing leak right now. But it looks like it probably is going to be one of those reveals during the Hasbro PulseCon coming this weekend on Friday. And then maybe will be a Walmart exclusive later, because they've been the ones rocking the G1 reissues up to this point. So maybe something that'll be a short stock Hasbro Pulse pre-order on Friday, and then will be a mass thing later on with Walmart as an exclusive. Time will tell. We will see then. The last thing we're going to be covering is we got a listing from JT Prime 17, just dropping one quick listing here, updating actually a listing that we got from the Transformers Generation Prime line that's going to be happening in 2025, that'll be continuing the vibe and everything of our legacy line, Generations and everything like that. We got a Tra-Gen Prime Deluxe Vortex. So Transformers Generation Prime, that's the line. Deluxe Class Vortex, one of the members, Combaticon Combiner Team. That's a tongue twister. It seems like also JT Prime says here that this listing replaces the Swindle that we talked about earlier and moves it to a later date wave-wise. So this leads to many to believe that we're seeing more than just Superion and the Aerial Bots with Generations Prime, and Devastator and the Constructicons with Studio Series for 2025. This may be just the early building to a Bruticus and Combaticons for 2026, and maybe we'll just get the early pieces now with Swindle and Vortex, and then we'll get the others later on, the other three, in 2026. We don't have any other reason to have this frame of thinking when we had the Swindle listing, because there's a lot of Swindles in the past that were non-combining standalone characters, but in the case of Vortex, that's a combiner limb any way you cut it. I mean, there's a movie version, but if there was a movie version, it would be Studio Series. Every other, Vortex has been a combiner limb. So he's a combiner dude, and by having this listing here, it's like, yep, we're definitely going to probably be seeing a Combaticon at some point, and we're just seeing the very early listings of that. Again, like I said, these are all super early listings, so it's speculation right now, and stay tuned here on the Transformers Slag podcast for more updates as we get them. That's it for now today for Transformer Tuesday. We still got more to talk about later this week because there's a lot of big stuff going on. Thanks again for listening to the Transformers Slag podcast, and I'll talk to you in the near future.